Welcome to Wild Sea Game. Each time for our final training session of the day, out here on the main display, we do train our seals 3 times a day, every single day. Now, walking towards me is zookeeper Ian, and today he's working with Gordo, who's our 10-year-old sub-Antarctic fur seal. Now guys, I want everyone to start waving at Gordo. I want you to wave in little circles really quickly, and let's see if he does the same thing back, because Gordo has a very enthusiastic wave, so he may just wave back very, very soon. He's porpoising at the moment, no jumping in and around the exhibit. This is pretty exciting actually, seeing him porpoise, because he's really showing off those features of a seal. They're great on land, they can run over rocks, so he can actually walk on his front 2 flippers, but in the water, there is nothing more agile than a seal. So they'll be chased by an animal, possibly a shark, they'll jump in and out of the water, like he just did, which is porpoising, and that way he can get away from a shark or a whale that might be attacking him. If they lose contact with him, it's much harder for them to attack him. He's aquaplaning at the moment. Next time you guys are in the water, at a pool or at the beach, I want you to try and do that, because it's certainly not easy, and he does it with ease. But that's the reason why we do it, because it uses a lot of muscles. And you've got to think about seals or any animal in captivity. There's a lot of challenges for animals out in the wild that they don't get here in captivity. And we make up for that by doing these training sessions. And it's really, really important. So right now Ian's asked him to roll over, which is great fun. I mean, it's great to watch, it's giving him a bit of a pat. We'd all like to do that. But it actually has a second reason for doing this. He's giving him what we call a physical health check at the moment. So giving him a rub down means that there's an extra bond between the seal and the keeper, but he's also checking for cuts or bruises and that type of thing. Something that he may have damaged his body throughout the period between training. And quite simply, you just saw inside the mouth. He asked him to open up his mouth with a simple command, a visual command. So keep an eye on Gordo and watch how much he's concentrating. He's using his ears for listening, and he's using his eyes for that visual command. He's giving you a wave now. Make sure you wave back.
Good job.
He's a bit of a show off. Now guys, if you notice the difference between Gordo and our other seals, he's much darker. He's going to go for a bit of a leap, guys.
Hey.
Oh.
Wow.
It looks like it was a stretch for him. These guys have amazing spatial awareness. Sometimes we do behind the scenes activities with members of the public, and today I saw someone who had a target stick, so a big stick with a yellow ball at the end, and we asked Gordo to jump. Look at that. Showing off how strong he is. So we asked Gordo to jump, and the ball, the stick, was actually about this high. It was probably about 2 metres high, and he could easily catch it with his nose. So if I was standing on the water, we could ask him to jump over my head, and he could do it. And that's how agile and how powerful they are. And they don't even need a big run up to do it. A few kicks of their flippers, and they're bang up in the air, as you can see. Now, Gordo's pointing to something, guys. That thing dangling from the roof, it's not there for show, well, it's for show in one way. But that's what we call a seal the loop in. So if you have a look here, I've got one here. So Gordo should be clapping because we really are trying to help the marine environment at the moment. And how many people in this audience today has put something in the recycle bins? Anyone? 1 or 2? Few people? Good. So if you put something in the recycle bins today, guys, it's really good to know that all of our plastics get turned into these. And this is called a tangler bin. And it's the same as the ones dangling from the roof over there that Gordo was playing around with. It's made 100% from recycled bottles that you put in the rubbish at the zoo. And then we put it on the coast of Victoria, on popular fishing spots, so people have somewhere to put their fishing line and their fishing nets. Why do we do it? Well, if we do it, that means there's going to be less fishing nets and less fishing line littered around the ocean. I'm going to move over to the other side. I can't really see what he's doing. How many people here have a dog? Anyone? Is he well trained? No! Oh, your dog's not well trained either. Well, maybe you have to pay attention to Ian at the moment, guys, because we're training our seals using positive reinforcement. And you'll probably notice that every now and then Ian is throwing Gordo a fish. The reason for that It's not just a random throw. He's throwing fish when he does what he asks, and he does it well. Sometimes our seals can be a little bit lazy, and I'll try and get away with doing the full activity. And that way, we won't give them any food at all. But when they do something that we ask, and they do it well, they get food as a reward. And that tells the seal, or your dog at home, or your kid at home, that I may do that again if there's a good reward in it for me. So Ian at the moment's getting to race around from one side of the exhibit to the other, which is a great use of muscles. Now remember guys, in the wild, seals have to find their own food. They've got to worry about animals eating them, they've got to know where. He's talking to you now. So seals live in colonies, they breed on rocks, and they have to talk to each other to communicate. Sometimes they're hunting teams, and they will talk to each other to organise how they're going to attack their prey. Usually just fish though, usually small fish. They don't eat anything really terribly much. So, yep, we're about to finish up guys, so he's going to do a few last porpoises, jump in and out of the water a few times, show off, show how amazing he is in the water. So, I didn't tell you where we got him from. Gordo's a southern Arctic fur seal, not an Australian fur seal. So you won't find the seal swimming around close to Melbourne. They're found off Macquarie Island, south of Tasmania. He was somehow lost, separated from his mother, and was washed up on the beach in Warrnambool. He would have died, he had some severe injuries on his face, and he was severely underweight, so he was dying, and that's why he made it onto the beach. There was no way we could get him back to Macquarie Island and expect that he's going to find his mother. So there was only one option to save his life, and that is that he was to come here to the zoo to be a permanent resident. So he'll never be released back in the wild. I do feel a little sorry for Gordo though, because he's a smaller species than the other three girls. And normally in the wild, a male seal is the biggest. But in here, he's the smallest, so he has to do what the ladies tell him to do. I feel a little sorry for Gordo. We'll wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for listening. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them or make up a good answer if I don't know the answer for you. But thanks for coming. If you want to just walk to my right, you'll see our little penguins that just had a feed. They may be swimming around in the water, or they could be in their burrows. So thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.